Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. It's time for this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. We start the show with a look back at some California dreaming of sorts. We spent the week at LA's famous Forum, where USA Wrestling hosted the Freestyle World Cup, the annual World Dual Meet Championships. It was the first time since 2003 that USA Wrestling has hosted the major event here in the States. Most of this week's show will focus on the event as we wind our way through another exciting week of wrestling action. Well, the event started with a traditional press conference at the LA Airport Hilton. Press from around the world were there to cover the World Cup athletes and coaches. Andy Barth headed up the local organizing committee and welcomed the media to the City of Angels. He was followed by the honorary chairman, film and television star, and wrestling leader Billy Baldwin.
If you're a Southern California resident, especially our over 500,000 Russian Americans and our 500,000 beyond Iranian Americans, I think it's important for you to show up to this and support this if you want to see more events like this in the future.
Three coaches from the visiting teams talked about their squads, including Iran's Ali Reza Rezai, Russia's coach Christakis Alexandrias, and Turkey's coach Adim Barakat. Now, Team USA was there in force. As always, world and Olympic champ Jordan Burroughs was a huge hit with the press.
I love the World Cup. I think it offers an interesting dynamic to wrestling that's reminiscent of my high school and college days. I love the dual meet format. I love being able to cheer on my teammates. Like Travell said, it's more of an individual sport when it comes down to the World Championships and the Olympic Games.
Well, the big man, world medalist Travell Delegnev, talked about the challenge he expected to face throughout the weekend.
The new style of scoring system makes it kind of come down to, more interesting more often than not. Might come down to the end, but I really am not thinking about that. I'm just kind of excited to go out there and compete as a team.
National freestyle coach Zeke Jones gave us his thoughts.
Our team leader, Andy Barth, is from Los Angeles, and I think that, he's been able to give us an opportunity to have success at the World Cup.
Well, the promotional effort for the World Cup featured a Jordan Burroughs visit to the Arsenio Hall show.
I had a great time here on the Arsenio Hall show. It's my first time, and it's amazing time. He's a great dude. Made me feel really welcome and comfortable, and I definitely love to come back sometime.
Well, the Forum, the former home of the NBA's Los Angeles Lakers and Kings, played host to the Cup. The wrestling crowd was treated to an experience usually afforded to only the world's best bands and celebrities. This time, it was Olympic wrestling that thrilled the fans in the historic arena. Well, the United States was one of 5 teams in Pool A. And the young stars from the U.S. first faced a very talented team of Armenians. The U.S. started strong with 3 straight wins in the lightweights. We go to 125 first. It was there. Angel Escobedo scored and won. It was an 11-4 victory that was followed by a very competitive battle. 5-4 the victory there at 132 for Reese Humphrey over Vidalia Frigoyan.
It's just like the World Championships for me. Either me or Jimmy Kennedy, whoever's going to wrestle these matches. So we're still kind of wrestling off, seeing who's going to get that spot. So I definitely needed a win if I wanted to wrestle those guys. So I'm glad I got the win. It sucks to be down with 15 seconds left, but sometimes you got to find a way.
Now we go to 143. U.S. star Brett Metcalf scored the first bonus points of the Cup with an 11-1 stomping of Artur Arkelian.
I think, outside training, I think just kind of the direction we've been going over the last few years has all been up. And there's a sense of pride now and a sense of we expect to win, and I think that's big for us.
Armenia got on the board with a win at 154, but the U.S., well, they answered right away with a top-level performance from the 163-pound world and Olympic champion Jordan Burroughs. His response, a tech fall. If that wasn't enough, Keith Gavin followed with a 6-1 win at 189. Then it was former Kent State NCAA star Dustin Kilgore's opportunity. He didn't wait. He added another tech fall at 213 over junior world champion Viktor Kezhishvili.
I knew his defense wasn't all that great, so just made sure to go hard, keep the pace going, and make sure to drive all the way through, pick the leg up, and not stop on my knees. So that definitely helped because he's a taller guy.
Well, with the tech fall of his own, it was U.S. big man Travell Delegnev who stood up and added to the U.S. tally, and the Americans went on to win 7-1 over Armenia. Well, the U.S. would next face India. The dual meet started with 2 straight victories for India in the lightweights. Scoring the first for Team USA was Brent Metcalf, a 7-6 squeaker over Rajneesh of India at 143. Well, the momentum turned back to the U.S. at 154 when Mozafeh got a tech fall over Amit Dunkar.
You just go out there and you wrestle and see what happens. And as it went out there, it went great out there. It was just sticking my game plan, faking, snapping, moving, and shots were opening up.
Jordan Burroughs came through with his first pin of the day over Parveen Rana at 163. That was followed by rising 189-pound star Clayton Foster. He followed with a tech fall over Pawan Kumar.
Wrestling that match, is important for me to get me going for the next round if I wrestle. So it was fun.
Next up, 211 pounds, J.D. Bergman teched Salwart Kadian.
Just wanted to work on some of my parterre. So, I was doing a good job. He's obviously a pretty defensive wrestler, but feels good to get a match in big ones tonight.
Well, India elected to forfeit the heavyweight contest, giving the U.S. another win. The final team score, 6-2. That set up a huge showdown with Iran. We'll talk about that after the short timeout. Stay tuned.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
All right, welcome back. Our coverage of the World Cup continues. The U.S., after their win over India, was paired up with Iran, and the Iranian crowd, paired with the U.S. fans, had the Forum rocking when the two competitive nations hit the mat. Now, the fans weren't disappointed as these two great wrestling countries put on quite a show. Iran came out on fire, winning matches at both 125 and 134. It was Brent Metcalf who answered for the U.S. with an 11-8 win at 143 in a wide-open shootout against Misam Nisuri.
I'm excited to win. I'm not happy about giving up the big points early and then a couple cheap, easy ones where he just dives in and it's an easy finish for him. But that's fine. I got to where I need to be to win.
Iran scored another win, and with the score 3-1 in the arena came America's answer at 154. Jordan Burroughs. It was a rematch of the 2013 World Championship Finals. Burroughs proudly put on a dazzling display in a 7-1 victory over Azatollah Akbari.
You can see at the end of the match that he expected to win. He's a little distraught, heartbroken, but like I said, I expect to win as well. So we all have pride. We all represent our countries. Fortunate to do a little bit better today.
And then it was the young U.S. star Clayton Foster's turn. He amped up the heat with a 7-5 victory over world medalist Isan Lashkari at 189. That tied up the duel 3-3.
I wasn't sure if I had the points. I just kept running. I wasn't sure if he got 3 or if nobody got anything, or I guess. Actually, I was thinking the rest were going to call 4. I was just looking for a reversal. I wasn't quite sure.
With the match on the line, Iran got wins from two-time world champion Reza Yazdani at 213 and Olympic medalist Komil Gashemi at heavyweight. That gave the Iranians a hard-fought 5-3 victory. Well, day 2 saw the completion of Pool A competition when Team USA faced Turkey. Angel Escobedo got the ball rolling with a pin at 125 over Nebi Uzun.
You know, last night I didn't wrestle to my full ability against Iran, and you know, felt a little bit down, like I let America down a little bit. So, I mean, he was a tough competitor, but at the same time, you know, when I get my offense going, I just want to score a lot of points.
And keeping up the pressure was Jimmy Kennedy at 134. He had a tech fall win over Recep Tupal.
Came out firing a little bit more this match than yesterday, and really got my offense going right away. And I was able to start scoring real quickly, and things just started piling up for me.
Then it was Brent Metcalf's turn. He won his 4th match of the weekend with a tech fall at 143. The team continued to roll at 154. Nick Maribel got a tech fall over Mustafa Kaya.
I wish I would have been there yesterday like I was today, but sometimes you have bad days. So today, last night I was down on myself. Before I went to bed, I just sat in my room, thought about it to myself, told myself I got to put yesterday behind me and come out today and just wrestle like I can.
Well, the U.S. never really looked back. It was Jordan Burroughs up next. He got another pin at 163. Clayton Foster followed with a wild 16-9 shootout at 189. And J.D. Bergman added a victory at 213 pounds. A forfeit at 275 gave the U.S. an 8-0 shutout. With a 3-1 record, the U.S. was second in Pool A and drew a talented and experienced Ukraine team in the 3rd-place match. Well, Team USA got off to a fast start. Angel Escobedo registered an 11-1 tech fall early over Sergei Ratushny to get the team out of the blocks. And that was followed by a nice 5-1 victory by Jimmy Kennedy over Olympic medalist Vasil Fedorshin. Brent Metcalf got a tech of his own in a 12-2 victory over Ivan Petrov. He finished the World Cup 5-0, a perfect record.
He was kind of a slimy guy. Maybe wasn't great for that, but, you know, kept tough in my positions throughout the match, and then I got what I wanted.
Nick Maribel kept up the pressure with a clutch 1-point victory at 154. Clinching the duel for Team USA, Jordan Burroughs. He added a tech fall at 163, 15-4. Burroughs finished perfect as well on the weekend, 5-0, and extended his World Cup career to an amazing 15-0.
Even though we're in the 3rd-place match, I still think that everyone's excited. Everyone still wants to win, and it's a sense of pride we go stepping out there knowing that we can still get on the podium.
Now, with the match already in hand, Clayton Foster only had to worry about beating 2-time world champ Ibrahim Aldatov at 189. Foster won all of the key scrambles and had his hand raised and enjoying a convincing 7-2 margin. With his effort, he was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week.
I try to treat every match the same. You know, it just definitely puts a little more, you know, more that you want when the team's behind, but it definitely doesn't change anything.
Well, Ukraine's only victory came at 213, and a forfeit to the USA at 275 made it 7-1. Team USA took 3rd at the World Cup overall for the 3rd straight year. Here's Coach Zeke Jones.
From last night's defeat, Coach Burnett was very insistent about wrestling with a lot of heart and a lot of pride. You know, wearing the American flag on your singlet's real important, and today I think the guys really wanted to show that. They got up and they fought this morning against Turkey hard, and then they followed it up with Ukraine.
Stay tuned. We'll be back. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, the finals pitted pool winners Iran and Russia for all the marbles. It was Russia who jumped out to an early lead. Two-time world champion Viktor Lebedov scored late to beat 2013 world champ Hassan Rahimi at 125. The score there 4-3. Iran responded with 3 straight victories. It was Musa Jabari at 134, Sayed Mohammed at 143, and Mustafa Hussein Khani at 154. Russia wasn't done, though. Ahmed Gatomegomedov scored a quick 11-0 tech over world silver medalist Azatullah Akbari. However, Iran's murder's row was in the waiting in the upper weights, and they closed it out with 3 more wins from Olympic medalist Ihsan Lasgari at 189, world champion Reza Yazdani at 213, and Olympic medalist Komil Ghashemi at heavyweight. The final score, Iran 6, Russia 2. Well, the top 3 nations of the world gathered together. It was Iran, Russia, and the U.S. They stood together on the podium, much to the great applause of those in attendance at the forum. It was great to have the World Cup back on U.S. soil once again. You can catch the national broadcast of the Freestyle World Cup on Universal Sports Network. The show will premiere Monday, March 24th from 8 to 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, next we head to the land of the rising sun, Tokyo, Japan. The Women's World Cup was underway at the same time the men were battling in L.A. The world's 8 best squads went to battle for the World Cup of their own. In the U.S., well, tough Pool A competition, including Japan, China, and Hungary. The first day was difficult. The team drew world champ Japan on its home mats in round 1, and Japan won a hard-fought 5-3 battle there. Team USA came back strong in round 2, putting away Hungary 7-1. The big win for the United States came at 132, where Jennifer Page beat 2013 world champ Mariana Sestine. China was the next challenge, and Team USA lost 5-3 there in a tough dual meet battle. This put the U.S. in 3rd place in the pool, pitting our team against Mongolia for 5th. The Mongolian team battled back and forth with the U.S. and ended up a 4-4 tie. Mongolia, however, did win the tiebreaker, placing the U.S. in 6th at the event. Having a great tournament was 2012 world champ Adeline Gray at 165. She won all 4 of her matches. Gray beat 2 past world champs, Zhang Fenglu of China and Kyoko Hamaguchi of Japan. Also finished with a 3-0 record was 2012 world silver medalist Helen Maroulis at 116. All in all, Japan won the Women's World Cup, stomping Russia 8-0 in the championship finals. Well, it's NCAA Division I Championship Week as the wrestling community now heads to Oklahoma City for their year's big dance. Penn State comes in after winning 3 NCAA titles in a row, but will have to be at its best to retain its crown. For those who can attend, ESPN will have every match of the tournament televised on one of its networks, and we, of course, will partner up with themat.com for our audio broadcast on the front page of themat.com. There's going to be some great freestyle wrestling going on as well. Team USA will again battle India in an exhibition dual meet on Thursday as part of the NCAA Fan Fest. Team USA will feature past NCAA champs John Reeder of Iowa State at 189 and Dustin Kilgore of Kent State at 213 pounds. Another young talent, NCAA Division I national champion Tyrell Fortune, will wrestle at heavyweight. All 8 of the Team USA wrestlers will be former college stars. This event has become an annual tradition during the Fan Festival and NCAA Championship Week. You, of course, will have a full report during next week's program. Our coverage of wrestling continues when we return. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, there were 3 college national tournaments over the weekend. Some great wrestling on display for sure. The NCAA Division II Nationals took place in Cleveland, Ohio. Top-ranked Notre Dame came out on top just 12 miles away from their home. The Falcons took advantage of their home field advantage. Notre Dame won 4 straight titles in the middleweights to close out its first Division II national title. It included Jonathan Rivera at 157. He beat defending champion Corey Dauphin in the finals. The other Notre Dame winners included Eric Berge at 165 and Joey Davis at 174 and Garrett Leinberger at 184. A returning champ, Nebraska Kearney, finished second, led by national champ Romero Cotton at 197. Mike Denny's Maryville team, in only its 3rd year of existence, placed 3rd to bring home an NCAA Division II trophy. Other individual champions include Bed Surgeon of Findlay at 125 and Casey Roll of Central Oklahoma at 133, Daniel Owenby of UNC Pembroke at 141, and Frank Cagnina of Central Missouri at 149, and the heavyweight champ Ziad Haddad of Kutztown. Well, the Division III Nationals took place in Cedar Rapids, and Wartburg continued its amazing dynasty, winning its 4th straight in as many years. The Knights had 3 national champs, finishing 36.5 points ahead of runner-up Wisconsin Whitewater. Winning a 3rd national title was senior Kenny Anderson in a hard-fought 4-2 sudden victory over Alex Gomez of Ithaca at 133. Taking his 2nd national crown, Landon Williams at 174. He pinned Anthony Bonaventure of Waynesburg in the finals. Taking his 1st national crown as a senior, Cole Welter at 165. Wisconsin Oshkosh's Nazar Kuczynski became the 15th 3-time Division III champ ever after winning his victory at 157. Loras College sophomore James Bush pulled a stunning upset when he beat 2-time defending champ Chad Johnson of Augsburg in the semis. Bush finished it off with a victory in the finals, the 1st national champ for Loras in some 17 years. Host school Cornell got a title from Alex Coolidge at 197, and Messiah was placed 3rd as a team, led by national champion Caleb Lote at 141. Other champs were Augsburg's Mike Pfuffinger at 125, Ryan Prater of Elmhurst at 149, and Riley Lefevre of Wabash at 184. Now, the NWCA Nationals were held in Allen, Texas, and Grand Canyon took the championship there in a runaway. The Antelopes had 4 champs and finished 83 points ahead of runner-up Liberty. Grand Canyon, which is making the transition from Division II to Division I wrestling, was led by gold medalist Zach Zahner at 141, Mike Hamill at 49, Peter Anguiano at 285, and A.J. Salazar at 125. It was a battle of undefeateds at 133. Ryan Deal of Liberty won a 15-10 shootout over Sam Shames of MIT. Well, the college season ends this week in Oklahoma City at the D1 Championships, and of course, we'll have a full report for you on next week's show. Well, this week will be the final appearance of Boston University at the D1 Nationals. It was last year. After over 50 years with the program, Boston announced it would drop its program in 2014. Longtime coach Carl Adams not only held the team together during this difficult year, but the Terriers had one of the best seasons ever. 3 of them qualified through the rugged EIWA, led by a conference champ, Nestor Tafur at 157. He talked about the challenge he faced and the team faced this year.
With the whole team thing going on this year, we faced so much adversity, but we have the best team, best family to take it on. It's been awesome. They're all here supporting, alumni here supporting, and it's just really encouraging to see, look over at my crowd, and know how many guys really care about our program and fighting for what we have and the legacy that they've had the last 50 years, so it means a lot to me.
Well, Coach Carl Adams, who led the Terriers for over 30 years, tells us how his team showed great poise and character during its final year.
I believe that we certainly belong. So it's been motivational. The kids have worked tremendously hard all season. In fact, I can't say I'm surprised at how hard they've been working, but it is a pleasant surprise that all of them were all in all season.
A documentary is being produced of the final run of Boston University and the wrestling community coming out together in support. USA Wrestling's Richard Emmel learned about the film from one of its producers, Michael Abelson.
We're following this team around and also at the same time trying to figure out all the circumstances behind why the team was dropped.
Well, it's time for the USA Wrestling Photo of the Week. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country and are being considered for our photo contest page in USA Wrestler magazine and our Facebook page as well. This week's pick of the week comes from the World Cup. International wrestling photographer Tony Rotundo caught this image of the Russia and Ukraine freestyle squad shaking hands before their dual meet. This shows how the friendship through the sport transcends politics and helps bring people together. Have your photographs considered simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Fans, that'll do it for this week's show. We look forward to talking to you again next week. For all of us here at USA Wrestling Weekly, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.